I've been living in Paris for years and I studied with many people in Paris. First I started with my father, who is a guitarist, for 2 years. Then I came into regional conservatory with Ramon de Herrera, who is a Spanish teacher. Then I entered the National when I was 16 with Olivier Chassin, and I took some lessons, private lessons with Gabriel. So they were like my mentors, beside my father, who is my father. Well, I think I've been very lucky to have very different teachers. I mean that my first teacher is a Spanish person, so big character, very good musician, very into traditional way of learning. Then Olivier Chassin at the National was very theoretical. I mean that I learned a lot about harmony, how to, the musical approach, intellectual approach of music. I mean, it's much more complicated than that, but basically. And Judique learned me a lot about also music, styles, and a lot about technical approach. Then I took a little of everyone's and I developed my own way. I mean, I was very influenced by those 3 teachers that were very important for me. Well, I play a small band for 6 years now, and that was my first real guitar concert. So I bought it when I was 18, which is pretty young to buy such a guitar for such a price. No, actually I was playing a Sato before for 8 months because my father played on the Sato, but I decided to buy the small one. I was 6 years ago. I was looking for an instrument that could allow me to play with a lot of dynamic. I mean, I could really share voices, you know, when I play some fugues or well, anyway, just to make dynamic melodies, accompaniment, and be able to make appear one line in the middle. And this guitar is, on my point of view, the most effective for that. And also, it's very powerful guitar. I mean, the sound is very big. It's not like super powerful, but large. So it means that you can play in a big concert hall, and you can play very pianissimo, and because the sound goes really like really far from the instrument. So yeah, that was the reasons. I was more looking for the possibilities than for the sound, because playing a small band is the sound is not traditional at all. So it was more for the musical possibilities that it would give me than for. I was not looking for some traditional sound, just more for the musical possibilities that I could get with it. Very well. I think that it's you know, when you're a professional musician, I mean, if you want to be a professional, or if you are a professional, you have to be very organized and you have to practice in very effective ways, because when you have a very busy schedule with a lot of concerts, chamber music, when you teach, because I also have a position in Paris, you have to be very organized and never lose time. So I have my daily practice, which is basically based on technique and some little studies or something, and the programs I'm preparing for. So, and I try to have little time every day for all of that. So even if it's 1 hour, I will try to practice seriously for 1 hour. But yeah, it's important to be like very organized when you have a lot of when you have a very busy schedule, actually. I didn't do so many competitions. I did like 12, 13 competitions, which is a lot, I may say, but I know many people that did much more, like 50 competitions. Well, the thing is that for me it was the first step, because before doing competition I had no career. Like I didn't even play a concert. You know, I played 1 concert when I was 15. That's it. So the competition was the first step for me. For me, it was the only possibility to get concerts at the beginning. Then it gave me a lot of credibility. I mean that when you talk to people, organizers or musicians, because when you are a guitarist, you kind of suffer of that bad image a little bit. But the fact of having this kind of prizes, which is something established, which is something concrete, that's it's like you're recognized for this, right? And that's just it's a good credibility. master classes, it's always a little complicated for me because I like very much to work with the student, like to really work, and this is not very nice for the public. You see what I mean? Is that if you really want to make someone make an improvement, to have someone make an improvement, you have to spend some time saying the same thing for the idea for him to really get the idea and give many examples, really explain. And for example, when it's about technique, it's getting a little, I think, boring for the people. But at the same time, like if you teach masterclass for the public, then it can be not very useful for the players. So so in my way of teaching the students that I have regularly in France, I really make them practice. Is that I have a very clear program, technical and musical program with precise pieces and everything, and I try to make them improve, which is for me the most important in teaching. Like you can